Okay. Hope everybody can hear me okay. Obviously, not a great game for us. Certainly didn't play very well. From the start, we got behind and, put ourselves in a situation where we had to try to catch up. So, really give Minnesota credit. Obviously, they played a great game today. We did not. We know that we've got to go out and do a better job in a lot of areas. Certainly, we got to stop the run. Their run game is some of the best in the league, and obviously Cook is one of the best guys after contact, in the league, and he proved that again today. And we know we can't turn the ball over. We got to finish those drives, and we got to get points, certainly, and we can't have penalties and things like that that hurt us through the course of the game. So we just got to go back to work. We got to take a good look at ourselves and get this thing back on track here and settle things down. Starts with me, starts with coaching, and we got to go out and play better on Sundays. I think the guys are working through the course of the week, certainly trying to do everything they can to handle the different scenarios that come up through the course of the week. But we got to come out on Sundays and play better. So that's really the bottom line. All right, questions?
Tim?
You mentioned it with your opening comments. You knew how good this Minnesota running game was and how good Dalvin was playing. Is that maybe the most disappointing part of today? It was just knowing that that's the part you had to stop, and you guys were kind of really getting beat up in the trenches today.
Yeah. Everybody knows that when you play Minnesota, you're going to have to stop the running, and the guy still runs the ball extremely well. He's very, very strong. I would say the extremely impressive part is his yards after contact. When he gets in there and he makes contact, he's still just moving and driving. He's got great leg strength. I think you really see that in person and his ability to break tackles, and get through there. So, he's a very, very good player. And they do a great job up front blocking for him.
Rothstein?
Hey, Matt. Basically, Sheila Fordham before the season said that major improvement was the goal this year. If you look at how you've played against Minnesota since the start of your tenure, that hasn't been there. Why haven't you had any improvement against Minnesota in your 5 games against them?
Obviously just going to speak on today's game. Like I said, I think we didn't coach well enough and we didn't play good enough. We got behind early. I thought they did a great job in their opening drive with their script. They moved the ball right down there. They had a great combination of run plays and then, the play action chunks. They really took advantage of the intermediate part of the coverage right there. I think they hit some really good balls. They converted a couple big plays on third down and then a penalty, obviously, on third down. I think that, really propelled a couple of their drives. They got good skill players. It's a good team. And, I think they did a great job, obviously, turning the ball over on defense. So from that aspect of it, like I said, we got behind and put ourselves in a hole to try to catch up. And we weren't able to do that. So, we're gonna have to do a lot better here. We got to do better next week, and obviously we're gonna have to play Minnesota again, and we got to play better next time.
Matt, this is also the second straight week where you've not had 11 players on the field on defense on a critical play. Where is the breakdown there?
Obviously, those are things we got to get fixed. We got to make sure we handle those better. And communicate on the sideline better when those things happen. If we have an injury or if we have a situation where something comes up, to make sure everybody's tapped in with that. And we got to get it right from a coaching standpoint.
And just the last thing for me, going back to the improvement thing, why has there maybe not been, or where have you seen improvement from week 1 of the season until now?
Yeah, I think we talk a lot about consistency, and obviously that's one thing that's not not been good enough. I think some guys individually have definitely improved and have definitely gotten better. It was really good to get Austin Bryant out there tonight. That was good. I thought he played well. But we'll look at the tape and obviously Trufant back out on the field. So that was good. But in those areas, obviously you play a game like we did today. There's not a lot of things that looked like we improved on. Obviously the punt rush, I thought that was good for another week in a row. So that was consistent, but overall, all of it's just got to be more consistent so that it works together and not like, one phase here and one phase there.
Appreciate it, Matt. Thank you.
Dave?
Hey, Matt, to follow up on Mike's first question, I guess, you're 3-5 now, midpoint of the season. This is 2, pretty shaky performances in a row. What do you sell, hope as, I guess, the rest of the way here?
Again, for us, I think it's about just, regrouping and going out next week. That's what we got to do. We got to play better next week. They're all 1-game seasons. That's what it is for us right now. Like I said, I think our guys are doing a great job of handling, everything from day to day. We just got to do a better job on Sundays, all the way across the board.
And, Stafford obviously didn't practice this week. I don't know the two interceptions. How much did not practicing contribute to any of that? If you saw anything they did, and if that wasn't the case, what do you think led to those turnovers?
Obviously, I think Matthew did a great job all week of trying to get ready to go and prepare himself. It's kind of interesting, some of the technology that we have right now. And I thought we used it to our fullest, and I thought it was really good. Those guys did an outstanding job with it. Obviously, getting the game, they've got great players that made some, really great plays out there. And, that's going to happen, but we just, we got to protect the ball. We know that from that standpoint, and give them credit. I thought the game plan was really good defensively. I thought they had some really good pressures that they brought against us, some different looks. We know how expansive Zim's playbook is defensively, and they were dialing up some good plays. And then when they got ahead, they were able to kind of sit back in some coverage looks and take advantage of some things downfield.
And then last thing for me, the punt blocks. It's so hard to block a punt in this league. You guys have 3 now in the last 2 weeks. What do you attribute that success to?
It's just we've been working hard at it here all the way from training camp, and I'm glad that's showed itself here in the last couple of weeks. It's something we got to keep doing. The punters are so good in this league; they just really are. So we've seen a couple of things where we thought we had a good opportunity to, and I'm glad we capitalized on them. But it changes each week. But I would say that's the one thing from last week to this week that I thought did carry over.
Thank you.
Okay, time for 2 more. Chris, go ahead.
Hey, Matt. I just wanted to clarify real quick if Matthew got flagged by the spotter or whatever to come off the field on that play. If you could shed some light on what sort of went that process and then why he headed to the locker room then.
Obviously player safety is going to be first and foremost for us. I'm not going to get into the details of what happened, but we saw the hit, and I think at that point Cleat was trying to do a great job of just making sure everybody was safe. So we kind of all looked at it the same way, make sure he was okay. That's first and foremost. That's the most important thing. And then they evaluated him from there.
And then just to follow up on what Dave asked, you mentioned Minnesota throwing a lot of different looks at you defensively. Is there anything that they did or that you weren't able to do because of the situation with Matthew through the week? Did you have to dial back anything offensively as you went through this?
Yeah. No, I think, we played against these guys for a long time. So I think, a lot of the looks we've seen, we just, I think they did a good job of calling it. I think Coach Zim did a great job of calling a game against us and mixing those things at the right time. I thought it really, worked well for them, obviously. And like I said, they're strong through the middle of their defense. They've got some guys that can really disguise very well. And I thought those guys, they did that against us and obviously capitalized on it.
All right, last question, Justin.
Hey, Matt, this is a little bit big picture question centered around this game. You talk always about consistency and building as the season goes on. It's 2 straight. Your defense has given up more than 34 times this year. I'm just curious, as you're trying to find that consistency and trying to build, how deflating has that been for you as a defensive coach that you just haven't been able to get this right with this group?
I think they're trying to do it right every week. I think we got to go out and we just got to do our jobs better. And that's really the bottom line. I think there's a lot coming at everybody each week that's different. And, for us, we got to try to block all that out and just, make sure that we're doing the basic stuff correct and, do a good job in those situations of executing it out on the field. So from that standpoint, obviously, it's disappointing when you don't win. It's disappointing when you don't play well. So from that standpoint, we got to start by, coaching better and playing better and then see what happens from there.
Matt, we know this scheme works. We've seen it work in individual games here. We've seen it work many years across the league. So how do you break down this between personnel, execution, and play calling as the shortcomings here?
Yeah. I think first thing for me is I just got to give Minnesota credit. First, I thought, Dalvin did an unbelievable job of running the ball today. I thought their O-lineman blocked us and, we weren't able to get off those blocks and make some plays and took advantage of some angles that I think were out there. But again, I would say, one of the most impressive things I thought was really the yards after contact. There was a couple of plays where we've got him right there where we need him, and he was able to kind of break free and turn those into some really big plays. So, from that standpoint, give them credit first.
Thank you, Matt.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks.